Hey, thanks everyone for coming by. Today, we're going to give you some tips and tricks for getting data into the Common Data Service. I'm Tessa Palmer.
And I'm Miguel Llopis, and we're both part of the data integration team at Microsoft.
So today we're going to give you a few things, a quick overview of the Common Data Service and the pieces that are around it. We're going to talk about the Common Data Model and Open Data Initiative, which was announced yesterday. And then we're going to spend quite a few times on demos, which is Miguel's favorite. These guys are really fighting us with music, hey? Okay, we'll try to be cooler than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting with the overview. As Miguel mentioned, we're part of the data integration team, which is a team that does a variety of things within the business application group, which is the area that you're in the expo over here. We actually do have a booth, believe it or not. We're down on the end in the corner. But if you go to one of those maps and type in data integration, you'll find our booth just over there. So we love showing a picture of kind of all of the different pieces of the group and the places that we work in. So data integration, we're really a horizontal team that spans a variety of offerings within Business Application Group. One of the first things that you might know us from is actually from our suite of connectors. So we provide all of the connectors that are in Power BI, Power Apps, Microsoft Flow, that allows you to connect to over 200 different data sources. And so what do you do with all that data sources? Well, you can take the data and leverage our data integration experiences, which Miguel is going to show off in just a few minutes. And you can bring that data into CDS, or the Common Data Service for Applications. This is the platform that powers the Dynamics 365 applications, sales, service, marketing, etc. And also is the platform that powers Power Apps. And so if you leverage Power Apps today, it has the best experience for data that resides in the Common Data Service. In addition, you can bring some of that data and the shape into Power BI so that you can build Power BI applications, dashboards, reports on top of that as well. And so both of these platforms and products and offerings, in addition to leveraging the data from our connectivity options, they also implement what we call the Common Data Model. And I'll talk a little bit about the Common Data Model more in a second. So as I mentioned, data integration, we do a variety of things. And so we have a large number of sessions also that we're a part of. Wanted to put this up. We have it at the end as well, but feel free to take a picture. We have over 10 different sessions across all of Ignite. There was a few today that you want to still record and go look at the sessions later. But you can see our area really shows up in Power BI, Microsoft Flow, Power Apps, Common Data Service, Common Data Model, all of those different things. So here's a good taste of the types of things that our data integration team does. Okay, so getting into the Common Data Model specifically, which is a piece of our data integration team and a very important piece as well. And so some of you who may have been over to the booth might have seen this. This is actually a poster printout, and I have some up here as well if you'd like to come get some after. But the Common Data Model, or CDM, is a set of modular but also extensible business entities or concepts. So things like account, contact, opportunity, things that we all share and understand and have the same meaning of, but the CDM puts it into a common shape that we can actually agree and speak the same language on top of. So it unifies the data into that well-known schema, because again, these are all concepts that you likely have actually across all of those 200 different data sources probably that we support, but they might show up in slightly different ways. And so having the common data model in the actual, these exact schemas, so we understand what task is uniquely, and we actually all can agree on that shape, it really allows for semantic consistency. So actually the same meaning of an object, of an attribute, is consistent across the platforms, across applications, and across deployments. So if I mentioned before, going back just 2 slides, when you talk about these two different services, the Common Data Service for Applications and Power BI, when you leverage the Common Data Model between them, something like an account actually means the same thing in both places. And that's really powerful, because then you have the applications that are producing and modifying the data, as well as the applications that are showing your insights and analytics can actually communicate and mean the same data and meaning across both of them. So jumping forward again, what this common data model allows is for actual customers, system integrators, so folks bringing data from a variety of systems, as well as ISVs or providers of solutions to develop turnkey business and intelligent applications that can share data based on these entities. So again, when I want to provide a solution, I don't have to go into your space and understand, okay, what do you mean in this SQL database? What does this Excel file mean to you? What does, how is your data stored in this particular location? All I need to do when I provide a solution is build off of these common entities, and the folks, the data integrators who have brought in the data into this shape can also just focus on that common data. So it really, instead of me having to go understand n different sources, or a system integrator having to understand, n different models or applications that want to be built, we really isolate the work so that these folks can work independently, but also be leveraging and sharing data between them. And of course, while we have standard out-of-box schemas, they're fully extensible. And so because we know that we're not going to cover all of your scenarios, you likely have custom cases, and that's totally fine to bring it into our system as well. And in fact, you can relate your custom concepts back to our standard ones too. And you can also use our common metadata and our system kind of below the level of our schemas to ascribe that same meaning to your custom concepts as well. So we have all of this online. CDM is currently open source. And if you go to aka.ms/CDM poster, that'll get you a digital copy of this, or the handout again is here. And then that'll also take you to our open source repository as well. Okay, so leading in, if folks were at the Satya keynote yesterday, he announced what's called the Open Data Initiative. And if you were listening, you might have heard some of the things I said around CDM. Sounds very similar to kind of the intent and the messaging behind the Open Data Initiative. And so just in case you missed it, the intent of the Open Data Initiative is to deliver business insight from a wide variety of your data, behavioral, financial, transactional, all with this Open Data Initiative that's a joint vision across Microsoft, Adobe, and SAP. So we're really excited about it, and actually this is something that CDM is an active part of. So if you go read some of the content around ODI, the common data model is actually evolving as part of that initiative to really bring in the same kind of type of unified semantics and schemas. So again, in this Open Data Initiative, we want to make sure that everyone has the shared understanding of data, and by partnering with Adobe and SAP, we can actually provide a lot of that value out of box. Now, it won't just be the three of us, of course. We're working to expand with a variety of others as well. But it's something that the common data model is actively evolving to be a part of. And in fact, we're in a good place because the common data model already exists. It's already a part of actually a few different products within Microsoft today. So the Common Data Service, which I mentioned, which also powers Dynamics 365 and Power Apps, Power BI, and then we also have some upcoming Azure Data Services that are going to be supporting CDM, and all of that will directly accrue value towards the Open Data Initiative. So with that, I think we'll switch over to actually how do you use it, how do you get in data, and what does it all mean?
Sounds good. So thanks, Tessa. Thanks, everyone, for joining. We're going to talk for the next few minutes about how to actually get data into the Common Data Service for apps. We're also going to touch base on the Power BI data flows capabilities, and I will show you a bunch of demos for how to get data from multiple places into those sources, or those destinations, actually. First of all, the data integration capabilities that we have built in, they're built on top of a Power Query Online experiences. If you've used Power Query within Excel or Power BI, you may be already well familiar with its capabilities around data connectivity and data transformations. We're just making those same capabilities available in order to get data into these target or destination systems. With that said, we also provide a few added capabilities, including the ability to map to common data model entities. So we have a dedicated mapping user experience for that. And we also provide the schedule refresh capability, so you can define this workload or this flow of data once and then refresh it on a schedule. Got it? Okay, good. As I was saying, the capabilities are built on top of Power Query Online. So let's quickly jump actually onto demos. And the first demo I'm going to show is actually going to cover this path. So getting data from some data source into CDS for apps. So let's go and take a look at that. How many of you already use Power Apps or Common Data Service for Apps? Samir, I know you do, and a bunch of other people do as well, so that's great. So we're looking at the Power Apps portal. This is just powerapps.microsoft.com. It will take me here. You might have already tried out the stuff under the data menu in here. One of them is the data integration projects. So you can come here to define your pipelines or your projects to actually get data into the Common Data Service for Apps. I have really descriptive names, as you can see. But I can go and create a new project, and that's going to take me into the Power Query Online experience. So here I can go in and start pulling data. We have about 25 different data sources at this point. We're growing this incrementally to hit full parity with the 85 plus data sources that we have in Power Query in the desktop. So for example, on Power BI desktop. Let's go and try connecting to an Azure SQL database, for example. And the experience here is very similar to the one in the Power Query desktop. So if you're already familiar with that, you'll find yourself at home. I'm just going to type my server name. If this was actually an on-premises data source, I could also leverage the on-premises data gateway, the same one you're already using for Power BI, Power Apps, and Flow. You can leverage here as well. Because this is cloud, I'll just stick to no gateway. And it also registered my credentials already. So the moment I type that in, it already knew my credentials because I tried this before. So my username, password, it's been securely saved and it's reusable across data projects. Now when I click next, it's going to connect to that Azure SQL database, and it's going to bring me the list of databases and tables that exist over here. So let's go and try connecting to AdventureWorks. And we can select and preview data. So we can click that guy, customer table. Let's also do the orders header table. That's, yeah, we got the preview. So when we click next, we actually get into the, oh, interesting. Okay, it didn't bring the other one. Let me quickly re-add that.
You need to select the checkbox next to it, Miguel.
I thought I had done it, but okay. You know what?
So
That's
this
not
is
the one,
where
right?
he's connecting to one of those, over 200 different data sources that I mentioned. He made a good point too about the on-premise data gateway. So we support both cloud and gateway on-premise data sources. So again, wherever your data resides, you can connect to it and leverage it through this.
All right, so let's try this again. So we have sales order header, and I just click the checkbox now. Great, so now it's coming through. Awesome. So we have two tables here, one with customer names and IDs and information about the customer. The other one has just a summary of the multiple orders that have been done. We're actually after building a list of our most paying customers. So the first thing we could do is actually come to the sales order table where we have a bunch of columns, which actually I don't need. There's only two columns from here that I'm interested in. One is the customer ID, and the other one is called amount due, I believe, total due. Yep, total due. So we'll just select those two, and I'm narrowing down my, okay. I'm gonna narrow it down differently. So let me pick my customer ID from over here. And then we have the total due column, it's over here. So I just selected those two. I'm gonna remove the other columns. Now what we can do is just, we have multiple orders, right? So we can do a group by. We can select this guy, do a group by. We're gonna say this is total sales. And then we can pick the operation we wanna do. We wanna do a sum on the total due column. We do that, it's gonna return the total sales for each of the customers. And then we can go back to the customers table and also reshape it a little bit. So we can keep the customer ID, maybe keep these columns. Let's actually do something else first. So we can pick title, first name, middle name, last name, and suffix. Select all of those columns. Let's actually turn them into a single column, which is the customer full name. And we're going to use the space as the delimiter. So that's a customer full name. So now we have just a single column. Now let's pick the customer ID, the full name, the company name, and their email address. And we'll remove all of the others. And now we're going to go and bring the total sales by customer from the other table. So we can go do combine tables, do a merge queries operation. We're going to pick the order table, and we're going to join on customer IDs. We'll click OK. Now that's going to bring this new column, which we can then expand this to promote columns from the right table. We pick the one with the total sales. We click OK. Now it's going to pull in numbers. So there's a bunch of nulls because there's many of these customers didn't actually make any purchase yet. But if we sort this descending, we're going to see the top ones. And now we can just reduce these using reduce rows. We could say we want to keep the top, say the top 10 rows. So this will actually give us the top 10 most paying customers. Let's go rename this to top 10 paying customers. And now we're ready to go into the next screen. So we're done with data transformations. Now we need to go and define the mappings between these queries to how we want to load them into the common data service for apps. And really, we have three options. We could load to an existing entity, which includes the standard CDM entities or other predefined entities within my tenant, or we could load it as a new entity. So let's actually do that in this case. We load as a new entity. We have the entity name, the description. So we say we love these customers. And then we need to specify a field key or a key field. We'll use customer ID and the primary name, which we can use the company name. The second one, which was just an intermediate thing, we could just say do not load. And then we can go and just kick the load for this project. So we can actually also specify the refresh settings. We can either say just keep refreshing manually. I'll come back and click refresh. Or we could define a schedule. So we could say we would like to refresh once a day at this time. Then we go create. And now this is going to kick off running the data integration project for the first time to create that one entity. And then we'll just keep running on a schedule. In the interest of time, let me jump forward to another demo. And then we'll come back and consume those entities. So I cover this path, getting data into CDS for apps. Now let's talk a little bit about the Power BI side of the house. You probably, and this is creating the entity, just so you know I'm not lying, it's actually running. So I've switched here to Power BI now. How many of you use Power BI? Okay. We are soon going to release Power BI data flows capability, which will allow you to ETL data into an Azure Data Lake storage managed alongside your Power BI subscription. So back to this picture, you'll be able to ETL data into ELS V2 alongside your Power BI. And for that, you're going to get a very similar experience to the one I showed you with Power Query Online for the purple boxes. I'm in a special Power BI tenant, which already has enabled the capability, which is currently in private preview. But once you come in to that public preview, once it's available, you're going to see this new data flows tab within your workspace page. So this, you probably know the workspace page where you can see your reports and your data sets. We're adding a new tab. And then you can go create something new in here. So you could go create a new data flow. Once we do that, okay, something went wrong, great. Let's do that again. So we get to the page that allows us to go add new entities. And the experience here, surprisingly, is going to look pretty much like the one that I showed you before with the Get Data experience from Power Query. Plus, we also have right now a template available to load data from Salesforce. Let's actually go try that. So for Salesforce, oops, okay, I'm having really bad luck today with my demo. Let's try it again. With Salesforce, we provide you both the connector as well as a template. So think about as a template as a predefined set of queries that will pull a set of tables from Salesforce and would apply the transformations and the mappings just like I did in the previous case. So it looks like it's working now. Let's see, I'm crossing my fingers. So I need to authenticate against my Salesforce account or with my Salesforce account. Hopefully I typed the right password. Okay, network issues, that's amazing. Let's try it again.
So what this template's going to do, as Miguel said, is that it's going to do some of those transformations. So you saw in the other in Power Apps where he connected, he transformed, he removed columns, he merged, he did all those great things to really get the data in the shape that he wanted to load it into CDS. We're going to do the same thing, but we've already done the work for you. So if you're a Salesforce user and you want to leverage data in the CDM format, all you have to do is connect to the template, and it looks like if you click yes enough times, it ends up working.
Yeah, so it actually worked now. As you can see, we pull 8 different queries by default. Account, user, opportunity, and so on. So if we look at the account, for example, we already define a bunch of steps for you. So we take care of all the data adjustments here, and actually Tessa heavily worked on this template a few months ago, so good job. If you can see here, it's already mapped to the account entity type from CDM. So we can just go ahead and say done, and it will just create all of those entities for us. So this will actually create the data flow entity definition. It will create this list, and from here I could just save my data flow.
And of course, if you wanted to do it from scratch, you can do that as well, or if you want to customize anything we provided. But this way, with our subject matter expertise on CDM and Salesforce, we've done a lot of the hard work for you.
Yeah, so from here I could either just kick off manual refresh or a scheduler refresh. And then once you've loaded these entities into Azure Data Lake Store, through this data flow, you can consume them for reporting purposes from Power BI Desktop. We're doing a deep dive onto data flows tomorrow, both workshop session over to that area tomorrow at 9 a.m., which will be a 75-minute session, so that would be the best place to go. We're doing a repeat on that on Thursday afternoon, and we're also doing a shorter 45-minute session tomorrow afternoon on data flows, but I definitely recommend you to go to one of the 75-minute sessions. With that said, I think we're just over time. I had a couple more demos to show pulling data from Common Data Service for Apps into Power BI through that same Power Query Online experience, but we'll show that tomorrow because we'll have more time. So just to recap on the slides, we were here. So we covered an overview of a Common Data Service and the data model and the Open Data Initiative, bunch of demos. Please join one of our sessions. The ones that I was mentioning were the Wednesday 9 a.m. Deep dive on data flows, as well as the 3:15 p.m. Unify with self-service big data capabilities. And we're doing a repeat on Thursday at 2:15 p.m.
And we'll be
and
over
we're doing
at
a
the booth.
CDM session. They don't want to forget about that. Tomorrow at 12:45 as well.
You should come to all of these.
Yeah.
All of the sessions, just come over. We'll do different things at each of them. As you can see, we touch so many different places, and it's a really good way to see all of the great things that we do. We're also at the booth. We're working Miguel hard, so he was over there as well. If you want to see those demos he didn't get a chance to show, definitely swing by when he's around, or any one of us at the booth can also give you an overview of it as well.
Sounds good. So thank you guys for joining. Hope you enjoy the rest of the reception today. We have wine, beer, and a bunch of cool stuff. And our booth is actually headed that way. So if you guys want to stop by, we'll be around for a little bit longer.
And come get a poster.
And you can come get a poster or two. Thank you.